Morning,
Good morning.
Sarah.
Good morning, Olivia.
How are you? I
I
guess
am
that's not a
good.
good question these days, right? It's 2020. We're throwing out how are you?
I have a friend who likes to say I'm 2020 good.
Right. There you go.
I'm 2020 good.
Yeah, that's a good
Um,
answer.
and then my joke is I don't want to know what 2020 bad is.
Woof. Woof.
Yeah, this is the time of day where I get like a really lovely sunbeam coming through my room, which I adore. And it's nice to see your face.
It's the little things, David and I spent yesterday watching our next door neighbor battle all of the leaves in her lawn. It's just the little things. It's literally what we did. I don't know that we would have done that in 2019.
Right? Stare out your window at your neighbor.
Yeah, watching our neighbor do her leaves. Michelle, if you're watching, you're a hero. Okay, so this morning we are going to be talking on the mixtape about the parent trip, which are all of a unit together. The parent trip is the event that Sarah and I created in the spring of 2019 that kind of has just kept going and changing. We've got a new event coming up the first weekend of December, which is Saturday, December 5th and Sunday, December 6th. And today we're just really excited because we have invited Marnellie and Ali to come join us on the mixtape. They are our Westside drivers. They're coordinating the whole Westside event. We love them. It's a new thing for Sarah and I to have new people in this dynamic, but Marnellie and Ali have just joined us really seamlessly. We're a fun little quartet, and we're excited to have them with us today.
Yeah, should I bring them in? You ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Here comes Marnellie and Ali.
Good morning, ladies.
Hello, here I am. Here we are, Ali.
Hi.
So I think we just want to start this morning by giving you a chance to introduce yourselves. So Marnellie, if you want to go first and just talk about who you are and why we love you, that would be great.
Okay, so I'm Marnellie. I am a birth and postpartum doula and childbirth educator. My company is, it's not on my sweater, Hanau Doula. I have worked with both of, in my screen, these two people, Olivia and Sarah, through mutual support of clients. Big proponent of the parent trip and what it represents and why it's going to be the place for families to find their resources. And then this lady, Ali, I can't do the cameras. This lady, Ali, I met at a networking event for birth workers here on the West Side. And we just kind of looked at each other, and I think we were even sitting beside each other. Like, who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? What are we going to do?
What are we going to do?
So, so Sarah and Olivia had approached me. When was that?
August.
August?
Yeah.
One of those months, many months of 2020.
All the months run together this year.
Right. And they approached me. They said, hey, we really appreciate your support and collaboration and spread of the parent trip event. We want to add you to the team to help with the West Side. And I said, I didn't immediately say yes because I was like, I got to hide my excitement.
I think we also told you not to immediately say yes. We were like, do not answer right now. Stop and think about it. Like,
right.
Aggressive in our, like, set your own boundaries.
But it was literally like, I think, a couple days. It was yes in my head, days on my fingers. But, and they said, bring in somebody else that because, as a team, it's really great to have two people coordinating the event. And I said, I already know who, this lady right over here, Ali. So that's what I do. Do you want more? Do you want the rest of me, the rest of the people that are around in my house that you can't hear, but you will likely hear because they're going to come jumping around?
Yeah, sure. Tell us about your family and then we'll hear from Ali.
All right, so I've got two monsters, two people that emerged from my body. A daughter who's 6, a son who's 4. I have a fur baby, a dog, and then the person that made them with me, my husband. He's all right. He's pretty cool. But yeah, we're here in Northwest Portland, so on the west side, next to Providence St. Vincent's, and so I think that it's really aligns with the Parent Trip's goal of reaching the west side, because it's where I live, it's where I hang out, and so far things have gone really well in terms of our providers on the west side and extending that reach to families over here. So
Thanks,
that's
Bree.
me.
Yay. We love it. We love having you with us. Ali, tell us about yourself.
Hey, so yes, my name's Ali. I am a postpartum doula, and I recently just finished my training for a full spectrum birth certification. So I'm very excited about that. And my company is the 40-day doula, and yeah, so I had a great, meet up with Marnellie, and then she introduced me to these two wonderful people. Like, I couldn't ask for a better setup in terms of being connected in the Portland community and getting started as a birth worker out here. So I'm so grateful for it, and to know the different modalities and providers that can support our future clients is just phenomenal. So I'm here in the Tiger area, south of Marnellie. And we have a couple of people in like Wilsonville, providers and things like that. So we're really, really looking at extending that reach of the whole Portland area, as a whole. And I'm just super excited. I love it. We are making lemons out of lemonade in this 2020 world, and saying like, we can still stay connected. We can still be a community through this, and, and be those for our birthing families. Like, need it than ever. I'm just super excited. I love it.
Yay. Well, thanks, guys. Thanks for being here with us today, obviously, and thanks for being with us in the macro sense, putting on these new events. I think we just really want to take this episode as a chance to talk about why the four of us are excited about this event that's happening this weekend, and why, if you're watching this, you should maybe consider coming to join us. So I think we'll start by talking about the model of the event, like the genesis of it. So Sarah, you want to take it away?
Sure. So I think most cities, but Portland especially, is full with so many amazing providers and amazing different opportunities for families to have support. And both Olivia and I were running into our clients just getting super overwhelmed, and sometimes not even knowing what was out there for them. And so we were brainstorming together and wanting to figure out a way to present that to them in a way that was really accessible, very chill.
Yeah. Super low stakes. I'm sorry. I know I just asked you to talk about it, but I'm just excited.
We can do this together. We got this.
And I was just thinking about the first time you and I met, I just had an interview with someone who was interviewing doulas for her pregnancy. She had interviewed 5 doulas. She had also interviewed 4 birth photographers. And when she was telling me during our interview that she was having some back pain, and I was like, oh, maybe you should consider seeing a chiropractor, she just like, the overwhelm on her face was so clear. Like, I just set up 9 interviews for this. Now you're telling me to talk to someone else? Like, so yeah, that is like the seed that started the Parent Trip.
Yeah. And it's just continued to grow too. Like, I'm really excited, Marnellie and Ali, that you all are bringing in a physical therapist to talk about pregnancy, because even like literally until you brought her in, I would never have even considered PT during pregnancy. Like, there's just so many experts out there, and it's hard to find all that information.
So because there's so many experts out there, and finding them, especially during pregnancy, can be so overwhelming, or postpartum when you have a tiny new baby. The model of the Parent Trip has always been and will always be that we offer one provider per modality. So what that means is you're not going to be listening to, if you come to the parent trip this weekend, which you could, you're not going to be hearing from 6 acupuncturists telling you why you should come to their acupuncture clinic. You're going to hear from one acupuncturist on the east side, one on the west side event, and they're just going to tell you why acupuncture can help you with your pregnancy. And then if you're interested in acupuncture care, you can call them and you can work with them, or you could find someone else. But the goal is to get you information about why this method of care might be helpful to you, so that then you can go ahead and source your own providers. That being said, we love the providers we chose. We would choose those people. We'd love it if you chose them. But we also this year are starting a new thing where we're going to be offering a recommended providers list for every modality at the end of each presentation. So you're really considering the amount of buck that you're putting in, which is $0 to watch the event. You're really getting your bang for your buck, because you're going to be introduced to what we have 30 providers face to face
over the weekend. Yeah.
And then
you have 19. We've got, how many do we have, Ali? 4, 12, 11, 12.
12.
I think so. 12. Yes.
31.
12.
31 providers. You'll be able to hear from them over the weekend. And then you're also going to get these lists of people to look up otherwise. So you can find the right person for your particular complaint, maybe that's happening in your body postpartum, or your particular insurance, or your particular neighborhood. We know all these things are really important to parents, and we want to make sure that you have a full spectrum of availability. But we also don't want it to be, like Sarah said, overwhelming.
And when the event started, it was in person, pre-COVID. And so you had this opportunity to be like face to face with folks, these providers, and ask them your particular questions, like, do you take this insurance? And what's great about the way that we've built on the internet is you can still do that. So as the providers are talking, you'll be able to type in like, hey, I have this insurance, or when would be the best time for me to come in? So you still have this opportunity to kind of, it's not face to face, but it's as close as we can get.
Totally.
Yeah. And what I love about it is, like you said, it's low, like it's not a high pressure event. It's not, these providers are coming to give you information and resources. If you as an audience, as a family, then do use them as a service to support your family, great. But at the end of the day, as providers, you just want to get the information out to people, because to speak for myself as a new parent 6, almost 7 years ago, I would have loved to have this resource, to have the Parent Trip PDX, to go, oh, these 4 professionals have gone out and vetted all of these other providers and professionals, and can give me a trusted resource, can give me a reliable resource that can really give me answers. Because I don't want to ask the same questions, to your point of your interview client, Olivia. I don't want to ask 9 different people the same 5 questions. Right. I want to know somebody who can answer those 5 questions now, and then prompt me to have more of a constructive interview with a potential provider.
And I think the other thing about this, sorry, I'm getting so excited. The other thing about this model that we use is that, which we never imagined, right? This started as a one-time event happening in Tabor space on the east side. And then it expanded to the east and the west side. And then we went online because we had to, because of the world. And the thing that I don't think we ever anticipated is that by focusing on each provider, trusted provider, talking about why their method of care is valuable as opposed to why their clinic is great, which is a really important piece of the Parent Trip, it means that it's accessible across the country or the world, right? Like our last Parent Trip event, we had people logging in from New York and Florida and like Minnesota or something, and they were still getting value even though they were listening to Portland area providers, because they were learning about how pelvic floor therapy can help them after they've had a baby. And that is valuable for anyone who has had a baby at any point, anywhere in the world. And it if you're in Portland, then yes, we'd love you to go see Beth Fitzgerald. Sure. But if you're not in Portland, now you know that this resource is available, that you don't have to have discomfort with sex after having a baby. There's a solution for you. There's a resource, and you can go find it in your community.
Yeah. And then bring questions to those providers that you're researching, actionable questions, like those open-ended questions of, hey, I've heard, we'll use pelvic floor therapy as an example. I've heard that pelvic floor therapy can help with incontinence or discomfort during sex. So, dear provider, tell me more about how you are going to help me through that transition.
Totally. Oh, yes. So anyway, that's our model. That's how we do it. That's what we get excited about, clearly.
Ooh, speaking of being excited, we forgot one piece.
Yeah.
So we have giveaway baskets every time.
Uh-huh.
So one of the things that we love to do is to spoil everyone who attends. And, if we could, we'd like, you get a basket and you get a basket and you get a basket.
Everyone look under your couch in your own house and you have.
But what we do is
What do I got
have a basket for each category. So we've got the pregnancy, birth, postpartum, and beyond categories. And we have a giveaway basket for each one on each side. So there's 8 baskets in total. And I think the total value between all 8 right now is over $4,000, I believe.
Which, by the way, we should note, we are recording this on November 22nd. You should really be checking out our Facebook page or our Instagram for updated totals, because we just add to those all the way until the event.
Yeah. And overall,
the wonderful thing about the baskets. Oh,
no, go ahead.
Go ahead.
So the giveaways are fabulous. First of all, we have over like 4,000 in value goodies for, I think for both events, or maybe more than that, or maybe that's one side. I always forget. But it's one of my favorite parts, because not only are we spoiling parents, right, the people who this information is for, but it's also because each provider has curated the basket. So all of the items within it relates to their modality. It offers support to the parents after this event. It also gives them an opportunity to get the services for this provider that is doing their little bit on the show. So it's just like, it's really cool that the tools are going to be given to them, not only in information, but in also like a physical state if they win the baskets. That's so cool. Just to highlight too, like we have peanut balls, there's date night options, there's free services, there's self-care mugs, and like just all these fun little goodies, So again, we're spoiling our parents. Make sure that you tune in, of course, and register. And then we will be, explaining the raffle, how it works throughout the day, and give you a chance to win the basket. So I'm really excited. And again, it's just one of my favorite parts, just to see the community of providers coming together to be a part of the parent trip, but to also just help our Portland families in the area. It's been a rough year, so getting some of these freebies would be so nice. Like, talk about holiday value. So register, tune in, and you will hopefully win a basket.
That's great. We know that your internet's glitchy, but that's all right. Maybe you just need to be over at my house, Ali, on the day of.
We might, like, if I'm in the Nook and you're in your office, like,
like bedroom, office, here. You could be here and here. It's next door. You'd be like, so this is a door right here. I'd be like, Ali, you missed something. Because we got to be distanced, right?
So the next thing that we wanted to talk about today is a little bit nerdy, techie, but we just want to talk about the changing of platforms. So as we mentioned, we started as a in-person physical event. Then we had to very quickly, while we were planning the in-person event for April 2020, switch it to an online event. So we made the choice to go with a Zoom webinar format. And that worked really nicely for us for both our April and our July events. But this time we're mixing it up again. Got to stay with the times, got to stay fresh and exciting. So the big thing that we're changing is that we are using a new streaming platform in order to stream directly to Facebook Live and YouTube Live. And part of the reason why we think that's important is because we know the parents are busy, and we know that if you want to participate in the parent trip, you likely don't have all day to do it. And we want to make it really accessible to you. So by coming to you on Facebook Live and YouTube Live, we're basically coming to the apps that already live on your phone, right? That you're already using every day, things that maybe you're going to be on for your own enjoyment, as opposed to, I don't know who goes to Zoom for their own fun, right? I don't think anybody does.
Maybe like a social mom night. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Or provider social night.
Yeah.
So we're really excited about this change. We think that it's going to make it easier for people to log in and participate in the parent trip. And we think it's just going to make it more centrally located so that people can get access.
And what I love about StreamYard is that live Q&A that you as a parent can ask your question, and then it goes direct to the provider and they can answer it live on, or we might be typing in an answer. What's nice is that it like comes up, and so other families say, oh yeah, no, I had that same question, and it's viewable and reviewable.
Yeah.
All the time.
I feel like in Zoom, the Q&A section felt very hidden. So it wasn't super easy as a speaker, like you've prepared this 10-minute speech, you're like ready to tell everybody about what you do and what you love. But if it's not there visible, you're like in your zone. And I think this will allow it to be a little bit easier of like, ooh, someone had a question about what I just said,
Right. Yeah.
And, we obviously, hopefully you're watching this on YouTube, maybe you're not, but we obviously have started this YouTube channel for the parent trip, and we want to make all those resources really conglomerated for you. So it's just exciting to be able to go live on that channel. So if you're already subscribing because you already love the mixtape, then you're just going to get a notification this weekend saying, hey, the parent trip is happening, which is just awesome.
Right.
Okay, I feel like we've been talking for a while, but we do have a couple of things we want to talk about, including our new providers.
Ooh, new providers.
Who wants to jump on that?
Russian roulette. Who's first?
Russian roulette. No, it should be
not
like
Russian roulette.
It's not.
Spin the bottle. Spin the bottle. Let me see.
There you go.
Much better.
Oh man, wrong analogy. It's okay. It happens.
I'm pretty excited to hear from Megan Peterson. They are going to be our new childbirth ed on the East this time around. And I've just really loved following their their journey in this work, as far as they do some yoga and ed and doula work. And I've just been really inspired by everything Megan posts online. So I'm really excited to hear from Megan.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited about Dr. Meredith of Concierge Physical Therapy. This is the physical therapy for pregnancy and how that can support your body or the pregnant body. Because one of the things that can be helpful is to think about your body's alignment. And as a doula, one of the first things I recommend is chiropractic care. But what if that family or person is kind of, I don't really like chiropractic care? Well, physical therapy is another option. And if you don't follow Dr. Meredith, you should, because she's got some really great stuff that she's recently been posting on social media, specifically talking about the use of the pelvic floor and a squatty potty and an exercise ball to really heighten your body's awareness of what is happening during pregnancy and leading into birth. So I'm really excited about that.
I'll go next. We have a new provider to us for the parent trip, but who has been with us before in that she was a part of our fertility panel, which is Andrea Thompson. She specializes in prenatal massage, but really like fertility massage as well. And we invited her to be a part of the fertility panel. And like from the moment that we started communicating with her, Sarah and I were like, we want her. We want her forever. We want her in our lives. She is just so in touch with the ways that touch can help our bodies process and move forward and grow and create babies. And I'm just really excited to hear from her in an extended amount of time where she just gets to talk about her practice. The fertility panel was super exciting and great, but we had 3 practitioners on and a moderator, so I'm excited to get some like one-on-one time with Andrea.
That's awesome. I am really excited for our Westside provider, Lisa Gonzalez with Flourishing Top. I love how she really helps with lactation consultant, but she provides support for the parent, not trying to push and force breastfeeding if it's not happening. If it's frustrating, she really says, hey, let's feed the baby. And how is that going to be? What does that look like for you? And how can we make you successful? If we need to blend, if we need to formula, supplement, if we, need to pump, she just covers all of the things. And I'm really excited about, I got to know her on the Instagram live. It was super fun. And I think she's going to nail it. She's going to kill it on the day of. So super excited about Flourishing Tots.
Y'all should have seen my when talking about feed all the babies, however it needs to be done.
Yes, right. And I think that's a big thing. I think, so not just feeding, but I think what we're presenting, the content we're presenting and the way the providers are presenting is information. So then some of this fear and shaming and guilt that happens for new parents goes away. It's just, I have these people that will support me in my choices as a family. Not
options,
choices. Yes. Doulas, we do choices. What's your choice?
Yeah, definitely.
So I really, really appreciate that about the providers that we have lined up. And it's not a conflict of, ooh, you do this too, and I do this too, so we need to be battling it out. It's more of like, wow, will you provide these services? I might not meet the client in that way. Go to this provider. I mean, I think as a doula, right, I tell people to interview 3 people, one of which is this lady up here, this Olivia girl, because I might not be the doula for that person, but she might. So why not? Or this one, now she's a full spectrum doula. So she might be somebody that connects with a family that has fertility issues, that has other needs that I might not be well versed in or able to speak to that as well as just.
And the truth is that at the end of the day, any provider that you are seeing or taking your family to see while you are growing or taking care of your family needs to be someone you feel comfortable with on a gut level. It's not just, I looked at their website and I like them, their resume is good, my friend said that they take care of them in this way. You need to feel like you can walk into that office or have them meet you at their home and you trust them and you're you feel good about your time with them. You never walk away feeling skeevy or weird. And if you do, change your provider, please. There are so many great choices out there. And no matter the modality, no matter the care, no matter how late in your term you are, if you're like, this person has been my pediatrician for 5 years. They've taken care of this baby for 5 years. I'm expecting a new baby. They kind of weird me out, but like, why change? Please change. There is care out there for you that will make you feel seen and heard and taken care of. And it's never too late to change. And it's always worth exploring your options. Sorry, that was my soapbox. I'll get down from it now.
Enter the parent trip.
Yes, enter the parent trip. Yes. Okay. Last thing that we want to talk about today about the parent trip, that we could go on. And honestly, you can see us go on and on this weekend at the parent trip. On Saturday, December 5th, will be the East Side event. Sarah and I will be your MCs. Oh, this way. Yeah, it is that weird mirror thing. Sarah and I will be your MCs. And on Sunday, December 6th, Marnellie and Ali will be your MCs, taking you through a whole bunch of providers. And the last thing we want to talk about is road signs. So this is, we alluded to it at the beginning, talking about your options. And this is a new thing that we are doing this go round with the parent trip, where we are, in addition to presenting you a provider to talk about, I'm going to pull one out of family photography, right? Why you would invest in photography of your family. In addition to having a photographer talk to you about why it's a worthwhile investment, we are then also going to be presenting you a list with other photographers who we love. So this is new. It's added value for the families. And we think it's a good way to acknowledge the fact that we live in a really abundant community when it comes to perinatal care.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really like that. Because we talked earlier about aesthetics, right? You might have one photographer that has a certain aesthetic and another photographer that has a certain aesthetic. Which one lines up more with how you want your family pictures to look like? Because that's really important too. You want to take those pictures and feel that, oh my goodness, I love these pictures. Not, oh, that's all right.
Yeah.
I do think it's important that we share that the road signs are a paid, like an advertising thing. So these are not handpicked in the way that our providers were, but we are vetting them. We are looking at them and making sure they align with our values of being inclusive and all of that. So,
but it's going back to that, what Olivia was talking about, like having the options, and we're giving you that option of saying, hey, you can hear from this one, but here are 5 other options that you can interview and call and research and find more information based on what this one person said. So it's us giving you the information.
And the last thing I'll say, just because I have to, is that if you're a provider watching this, it's Wednesday, December 2nd, and you're like, oh, I want to be a road sign. Please go to our Instagram and check out our latest listing of how many spots we have left available. We're limiting this at 5 providers per modality. But if we still have a spot available, please do reach out, because we'd love to talk to you about sharing you with Portland parents.
absolutely.
Yay.
Okay, is that it? Did we do it all? Did we talk about all the things?
I mean, I'm sure there's always going to be more stuff, but
how about we close? Here's an idea I'm just throwing at you, having not talked about it. How about we close with what is our favorite micro piece of this community event, planning for it, working together. Like if you have a quick story about anything, I guess the thing that I'm thinking of is one of the things that I love is during the actual virtual parent trip day, Sarah and I are emceeing together. So we're on all day. We've got, a 5 or 6 hours worth of material that we go through. We give away all these amazing raffle baskets. We have all these interactions with people online, which is super fun. But behind the scenes, Sarah and I are also like constant texting about what's happening. So we've got like 6 different threads of ways of communicating. And when I go back and I rewatch any of our past broadcasts, it's just really funny because I'll say something like, "Oh yeah, Sarah and I were just texting about that." And people are like, "What?" Like you're on right now. So one of the things that I love is just how excited we get about the material, even though this will be our 5th event. So I always hear something new. That's what I'm texting Sarah about generally, is it's not snarky. It's stuff like the first time Beth Fitzgerald said, anybody who's had a baby is always postpartum. Your body is always postpartum. How she cares for people whose babies are now in their 30s or 40s, and she's helping them with their pelvic floor. That was mind-blowing to me. So I love that I'm always hearing something new. I'm always getting excited about it. And I'm usually texting Sarah about it.
Yeah. Let's see. What do I love that whole new information for sure. That is a big, exciting part of like that I can incorporate and say, hey, I heard from this provider about this potential option for you. That's really great. The other day, Ali and I were doing practice sessions with our providers here in StreamYard, and we were like, wow, we started having a Q&A with one of the providers just kind of after the practice. And it was really enlightening to know some more information about what they do. And I took that to a client because I had a postpartum visit after that. And I was like, hey, so I talked to this really great provider. And they kind of offered some of this advice or tools or tricks that you can potentially use with your baby. And we tried them and they were successful. And it was great. It was really great.
And I think to go off of that is learning, you don't know what you don't know, right? So like when you're pregnant, you may not understand what is pelvic floor, what does incontinence have to do with pelvic floor? What does chiropractic care have to do with the pelvic floor? I mean, it's all linked, but having to service your own body is something I think we forget about because we're constantly in either mom mode or like we're caring for others. So this is a wonderful way for families and birthing people to understand what they're going through. And I think that is phenomenal. I think that's amazing to me.
I totally agree with all of your points. To find something else, I am so inspired constantly by the generosity of our providers as well as the other people in the Portland area for our giveaway baskets. We throw it out there. We say like, hey, would you be willing to spoil these people that are going to come and watch? And they just donate so many amazing things, whether it's a gift basket of things that can make you like just feel really cozy, or maybe it's an actual like session with PT, or like I'm donating a lactation session. It just really warms my heart to see all the generosity.
Yeah.
Sarah, our bad capitalist. Love.
I need a shirt. I need a shirt.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, right? Is like to Sarah's point, these providers have an overwhelming sense of care and support for these families. And it's not that I want to do this so that you come into my clinic. I'm doing this because I know it's going to help you. I'm doing this because I know it's going to get you out of that like dark mental space to say that, oh, there is somebody that understands me and can help me get through something that's really hard. And that's what I love about the giveaways. That's what I love about what these providers are saying. It's all good in the neighborhood.
Truth. Well, Ali and Marnellie, thank you for taking the time this morning, and thank you for being a part of the Parent Trip team, period. Thank you for being here this morning to talk to us about the event. If you really enjoyed all of this banter and all of this stuff, please do join us this weekend, Saturday, December 5th, Sunday, September 6th, East Side, West Side. We'll be right here on YouTube or on Facebook. And you can get medium good jokes, excellent baskets, important information. That's what we offer.
I like that.
If you would like a reminder, if you head to theparenttrippdx.com, you can find a registration page, and we'll send you a reminder the morning of so you don't forget.
And viewing links straight to your inbox so you can access them from wherever.
Awesome.
Cool.
Okay.
Right. Thank you all for being
everybody.
here. We like
Beep, beep.
Beep, beep.
Thanks for watching. If you like our channel, please make sure that you hit the button at the bottom and subscribe so you don't miss any other videos we have coming up.
If you want to know the moment we post, hit that bell to notify you.
Ding, ding. We're also on Facebook and Instagram.
At the Parent Trip PDX.
And we have a Patreon that we'd love you to check out.
We do all of this for free. We love to support you. We love to share all these resources. But it would help us out a lot if you came and gave us a little support so we can keep doing what we do.
Thanks.